Response from our panel on these stories tonight. Majority Leader Harry Reid is taking no prisoners in his razor-tight race with Tea Partier Sharon Angle. He's up with a new commercial slamming her for siding with domestic abusers. I think it's absolutely outrageous that some schools let parents pull their children to protect them from the president's back-to-school message. And it's the story everybody's talking about today. The NFL is investigating a female reporter who allegedly was sexually harassed by the New York Jets, but now she's talking a different story. We got to get response on this. Stephanie Miller, nationally syndicated radio talk show host with us tonight, and also Heidi Harris, radio talk show host in Las Vegas. Let's take the reporter story first. Stephanie, what do you make of this? Is she just an attention-grabbing reporter, or do you think that she really has an issue?
You know, Ed, I think it's going to be hard to tell through this investigation. I may not be the best woman to ask because, as you know, I've been in this boys' club of radio for a long time, and you can't be oversensitive. If you've sat through a commercial break in my studio, it's kind of like a friar's roast meets a loading dock. So I'm not a delicate flower. We'll have to see if there was real harassment here or she's just being oversensitive. I don't know.
This is Enos Signs, the reporter in question, making a soundbite on it today explaining the situation.
I must say that I don't hear anything that is in the way sexual way. So because I'm not the one who say the charge or who try to involve all the team in this situation.
So what is it, Heidi? Is she just a headline grabber, or she got a real issue?
Well, she's a headline grabber, obviously. I have to agree with Stephanie on this. You know, those of us in radio and a lot of other occupations are not big babies. If you don't like testosterone, stay out of the locker room. That's why they call it locker room talk. There's a shock. She's wearing skin-tight pants. She's walking around with skin-tight shirts on. What do you expect around a bunch of guys in their 20s and 30s? So she needs to quit crying if she wants to do that kind of occupation. But she's getting a lot of press for this, so maybe that'll lead to something else.
Heidi, do you think her dress is an issue? Her attire is an issue?
I think it is if you're going to be around a bunch of guys like that and not expect the occasional cat call. Yes, I think it is. I don't look like she does in a pair of pants, but you know what? She's doing it, and she knows she's going to attract attention. So this is not the boardroom. This is the NFL. This is a locker room. That's how they behave.
What do you make of it, Stephanie?
Wow, Ed, I'm sure glad I didn't wear the thong I was going to wear today. I have no idea how you might have treated me.
Well, is her attire, Stephanie, is her attire an issue?
I don't think it should be at all, Ed. I mean, that to me, Heidi, you know, that toes the line of like a rape trial. Like, oh, look what she was wearing. She deserved it. I don't think that's an issue at all, Ed. I don't think that's, you know, I do think that in that job, she's going to have to not be oversensitive, but I don't think it's an issue at all what she was wearing.
All right. The league is investigating. We'll see what they do. All right. I think it's outrageous that there are superintendents across the country that are concerned about what parental reaction is going to be if the President of the United States' speech on education was broadcast today out of Philadelphia into classrooms. Stephanie, is there just right-wing overreaction to this, or should we be concerned that the political figure is entering into the classroom of American children?
It is absolutely ridiculous, Ed. I mean, seriously, they think it's some sort of Kenyan socialist plot to indoctrinate our children, to say you should stay in school and study hard and work hard. When have you ever heard this kind of controversy over a president of the United States talking to school children? I mean, there is really something different going on with this president, Ed, and I don't know what to ascribe to racism or what not to, but this is really a disrespect for the office of the presidency of the United States.
What do you think, Heidi?
I'm going to have to agree with Stephanie. I think that when we were little kids, we respected the office, and that was how it went. And our parents may or may not have agreed with what that particular politician had to say, but he is the president of the United States. And to me, it's a teaching moment for the parents. Talk to the kids after school, find out what the president said. If you think there's something he said you don't agree with, then you talk to your child.
Heidi,
but he is the president.
Heidi, isn't this a residual of all the birther talk? He's really not from the United States, wasn't born here. All this fueled anger towards President Obama because he's got a progressive agenda. And this is just a result of the right wing scaring the hell out of the people in this country.
Well, I don't like his agenda, and I think a lot of parents, obviously, on the right don't like his agenda either. That's not even the left isn't that happy with it.
So what's the harm in having him speak in a school?
Well, that's my point. You respect the office. He's the president. What is he going to say? I don't know what he's going to say that's that terrible to children. Parents have a right to talk to their kids after the end of the day, find out what the president said, and if they need to change what their kid thinks about that, then they can do that. They can talk to their child at that point. He's the president. I don't think it's a big deal to have him talk to the kids. I don't know why people are hysterical.
All right. In your state of Nevada, Harry Reid has got
please,
Go ahead, Stephanie.
Please, we let George Bush read to our kids, Ed, and that's probably why their reading scores have gone down so much. So if they survive that, they can survive President Obama.
All right.
Like I said, I have no problem with it.
In the state of Nevada, Harry Reid now leads 46% to 44%. That's the new Reuters poll that is out there in that Nevada Senate race. It's been close all along. And here is a new commercial Harry Reid has taken out on Sharon Angle. Here it is.
Imagine you've been abused by your spouse. You get a restraining order and move your family to Nevada, thinking you're safe. In the state assembly, Sharon Angle voted to prevent restraining orders from other states from being enforced in Nevada. It would have made Nevada a safe haven for domestic abusers. Thankfully, other legislators weren't so extreme because Sharon Angle sided with the abuser, not the abused.
What about that, Heidi?
It's a lie. In 1999, she voted an assembly bill that allowed any restraining order that was valid in another jurisdiction to be honored here in Nevada. It's a complete lie by Harry Reid's campaign. In 2001, some legislators tried to change the wording, and Sharon had questions about it, where basically a police officer would be able to arrest a guy based on nothing but the word of the alleged victim.
Okay.
Nothing, no other paperwork or anything like that. So it's a lie. She voted to protect victims in 1999, and Harry's lying because he's desperate. The guy's going to lose.
Heidi Harris, Stephanie Miller, great to have you with us tonight.